Welcome to Casual Babble.
Hey, it's your boy, BC Babble. This conversation could get a little weird. I'm not trying to say that I'm a nerd, but we are definitely about to get our nerd on, so...
This is Casual Babble.
We're going to be casual.
Yes.
We're going to be not in work mode.
No.
Because it's Friday.
More importantly... cuss? I need to ask these questions before I...
You can cuss, yes.
PG-13.
PG-13. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do PG-13.
Yeah.
I mean, if an F-bomb drops, I dropped an F-bomb last time.
Okay.
Like as
that
long
will
as,
happen
as
too.
long as not every other word is like the C word or whatnot.
Yeah.
If like we're not challenging the FCC here, so.
I gotcha.
But yes, be very casual.
Got it.
Oh, goodness.
I'm excited.
And I've actually been moving to like pulling a Scott recently, where I'm like sitting in the gray room at work and not right next to him.
I'm gonna do that eventually. I'm like, I need to get away.
Yeah. It's
Have
just
my
like,
little space.
plus he's always doing that too. I'm not sure where he's going most of the time, but he's just not there. And then whenever I come back around is when his mask goes back on. It's like, I had COVID like 3 months ago. Terry's the one kind of in the gray zone right now. So why is it me putting your mask on?
Okay.
Granted, I'm always like clearing my throat, but that is a chronic thing. That is not a virus thing. So I'd appreciate if he would stop like profiling me like that.
I feel like Scott's a Virgo. So like,
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he's a Virgo. So they're super analytical.
Uh-huh.
And they also like their time alone.
Yeah.
So like he actually really loved us being like away from the office.
Oh yeah.
He appreciated
So
it.
I'm guessing then he would be okay with me being remote if it wasn't the whole you're not as effective when you're remote thing.
Yeah.
Which is like,
and I'm
okay.
sure he didn't even really say that. I'm sure that was above him.
Yeah.
Like he's really he's really hands off.
Yeah.
Like really hands off.
Mm-hmm.
That's his management style.
Yeah. Which I like. I
Me
like
too.
it. Yeah.
I don't like to be micromanaged.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. All right. Fancy intro time. Well, not really fancy intro, but my intro time. Mm-hmm. Hello, you beautiful individual. Welcome back to Casual Babble. It's BC Babbles, and we are recording live in the Hugo Co-working podcast studio in the Queen City of Charlotte. And in the studio with me today is a recent new associate of mine. Her name is Lisa Dacres. Please tell me I got that right.
Yes.
Lisa Dacres. Welcome to Casual Babble.
Thank
and welcome
you.
to Hugo.
Yes.
First of all, yes.
Beautiful
Noticed
space.
you getting your shots down there in the hallway
Yes.
before I got into the studio. Ooh, it's Friday. It's the Friday before National Singles Awareness Day.
Yes.
So, how's your Friday so far?
My Friday's good. It's been chill. I got to work from home.
Yes.
So that's all that matters.
And you recently had why are you making noise? Phone. You have one job. Maintain it. So, and last week you had a nice little birthday vacation.
I did.
And you went just to the coast. Where'd you go?
I went to Miami.
Miami.
Mm-hmm.
How was that? What was the weather?
It was 80 degrees when I landed.
Ooh.
Versus 36 degrees rainy and cold in North Carolina. I was very happy.
Very happy, yes.
Yes.
Spend most of the time tanning or like perusing the people?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Nice. We like balance.
I went to Wynwood, which I love Wynwood, of course. It's the art district.
Ooh, yeah.
I went to South Beach, and I went to Little Havana. I loved Little Havana.
I don't think I've been to Miami before.
Oh, you have to go.
I know. I think I've only been to Florida for the purpose of Disney World.
Oh.
And that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
there's
Orlando.
definitely like people say that there's Miami and then there's Florida.
Oh.
So there's definitely two different worlds down there.
Between the two, which has like the better reputation?
Miami.
Okay.
I think so.
So Florida man's not going to be found in Miami.
Florida man is found everywhere else in Florida.
Everywhere else. So he knows where he's allowed.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Exactly.
So I know you because you are one of my newest coworkers over at THM in the Midtown area.
Yep.
And you've been there for how many years now?
3.5 almost.
3.5 years.
Yeah.
All right. So what brought you into that current position as a communications associate?
Well, my previous gig was an administrative assistant, and I landed that gig because I just needed some money.
I can appreciate it.
You know, I just needed to pay these bills.
Yes.
And it wasn't until another former colleague of mine was just wondering what was I doing there? Like,
right.
What are you doing? And they suggested, why don't you start applying to, different companies that would utilize your degree.
Yeah.
And so I decided to do that once I finally built up the confidence. And I found that job online and applied, and they basically hired me the same day.
It's a pretty quick process. Yeah.
It's very quick. Yeah.
And so what is your degree specifically, and where'd you get it from?
Yeah. So I majored in public relations and minored in marketing, and I got my degree at Hampton University.
Okay. Now, just in case anyone might get confused, because sometimes I might. And we're sorry. What was it?
Sorry, I had to say HU, the real HU.
Gotcha.
If you know, you know. HBCU people know.
Now, and I get confused about this sometimes, but just to clarify, the difference between what would you say the difference would be between PR and marketing?
Yeah. So I would think marketing is definitely utilizing the four. Wow, I'm losing my mind here. I haven't been in college in a long time. But it definitely tackles, I say, more of the logistics of things. So you're talking about distribution, packaging, all of those fun logistical qualities, and including design as well. And you're really considering the bottom line. With public relations, I feel you're more so having a conversation, trying to build a relationship with your community. First off, you're trying to identify that community, and then finding the best language and culture and traits that you can possibly build upon and relate to with them.
Gotcha. Now, if you could describe your journey up to this point, and we'll delve into what the journey has specifically been.
Yeah.
What kind of flavor mood would you say that your journey so far has generally been, career and professional wise?
Give you an example. What do you mean?
Would you say that thus far it's been steady maneuvers, it's been kind of up down, like random twists here and there, or how would you describe it so far?
I would say it's been up and down, random twists and turns.
Okay. All of the above. We like variety.
All of the above. Yeah. Ever since in college, first I had to convince my parents what I was doing was an actual career.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I'm the child of two immigrants.
Okay.
So, the American story, the first generational story. It's basically we came here and we worked hard so that you could become a lawyer or a doctor. And if you're anything else, it's like, what are you doing? Or engineer.
Okay.
It's like, well, then what are you doing? So I had to pretty much convince them that this is an actual legit industry and gig I can do. But it's just been twists and turns. There's times where I first got out of college and I was an office manager at a magazine, and that was really, really, really fun.
Okay, cool.
It was probably the best job ever. But and what I was doing as an office manager, I was helping facilitate the monthly newsletter, putting together PowerPoint presentations, PR literature, different media kits and stuff like that. I would build upon their social media, and then help plan out different events. They had a lot of different stuff that they would plan with Bank of America, different housing program initiatives. And that was fun. I loved it. It wasn't the most money.
I felt a butt coming on, but I was going to let you get there.
Yeah, it wasn't the most money. So I had to sadly leave that and go somewhere else. I was a photographer at a portrait studio. I worked in retail. I was an administrative assistant, like I mentioned before. So I've been in and out of the industry, but along the way, I've gained a lot of different skills. So
I'm sure.
Helped out.
Now, have all those positions thus far been Queen City oriented, or have they been other places?
They've been in the Queen City. I've pretty much lived here. This is where I started my working life. So yeah, my first job was at Forever 21 at Concord Mills.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Ooh, Concord Mills. Early 2000s.
Ooh,
what was that like? Ooh. I don't think they had the theater yet.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
And I was just understanding the beauty that is, oh God, what is it called? Earthbound Trading Company. Is that what it's called? The like, oh my God, the store in Concord Mills with like the Asian, well, not like Asian and like all the mystical aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yes. Isn't that like Earthbound or something
I
like
don't
that?
know, but I know what you're talking
It's
about.
not World Market.
Yeah, but you feel like you're walking into like a Himalayan salt
Yes,
cave.
because they have the fog machines there too, and the bug candies, which I haven't tried yet, but I've had an inkling.
Okay.
I'm not there yet, though.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Not
scared.
quite there yet. Not quite there.
I don't blame you.
So going into your first position, and then of course you've had your different moves up until your current position as a communications associate. What do you find thus far that really kind of acts as your main drive? What are you aiming for overall?
That's a good question.
Personally and professionally.
Personally and professionally. Personally, I want to...
It's like being asked, who are you?
Right. Who are you? Like, I want people to, you may forget my name, but I want you to remember how I made you feel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I want to do that with storytelling. Eventually I'd like to get into production. But definitely I just want to be able to tell stories in multiple different ways. I feel like that's my sweet spot. And then professionally, I feel like, I just want to build a great network.
Yeah.
I really do. I want to own my own company or a company with my friends who are amazing and they work in the same field that I do. And be able to just be like, hey, I have a project with Nike and I need Brandon, Jaleesa, Jasmine here with me in Tokyo for a week. Like, I would love that.
Oh, the day when I can finally drop the big brand that I'm working with.
Right.
Oh.
What?
I think we're gonna. If you ever decide to just be here in Huga, I know we're planning to try to have a big discussion regarding monetization and and sponsorship in the future. So
Okay.
I'll try to let you know when that
Please
happens.
do.
But yeah, so you mentioned your parents being immigrants. They had kind of a typical expectation as to what you'd get into college wise, and then of course Lisa had her own eye on something, a particular industry. But I'm sure that doesn't come with your own set of concerns. So what kind of maybe give you pause?
Right.
Choosing to go into the marketing PR world.
Well, I thought that it's a lot.
There's plenty.
There's plenty. Well, long story short, I am Black and I am a woman. So I didn't think there was enough space for us, or if there were even allowed in the room, I think that we would just be expected to take notes. So I didn't know that anybody would be able to actually listen to me, even though I may not communicate in the same fashion that you do.
Well, able to or want to, let's be real.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not always about can.
It's more like a want.
It's a want.
Exactly. That's actually so true. So I was concerned that people weren't willing to listen to me at all. So I felt like I had to cower myself and kind of make myself small in certain rooms, which is totally not my personality. So
and you shouldn't have to feel pushed for that. But our world is so steeped into what it is, and we're trying so hard to fix it.
Exactly.
But despite that, would you say now you've been able to leave that behind, or does that still kind of pull at you sometimes?
I feel like I've been able to leave it. It's half and half. It's 50-50.
Okay.
So I see Black women in tech and marketing and media, and I follow them on social media, and it's great inspiration. It helps me on my day-to-day. But then my personal day-to-day is I'm the only Black person in the room most of the time. So that reality is kind of daunting at times, but I have to just kind of fight through it and know that my voice can be heard. It's valuable. I'm worth something, and I have something to say. So it's a good feeling to know that while there is work to do, we're still making leaps and bounds.
Do you have particular instances that you could think of where okay, this is a trial moment.
Yeah.
And if I get through this, hopefully I'll have gotten something out of it. Do you have a particular moment or even set of moments like that?
Yeah. I feel like within this current position, taking on like clients by myself, like some of my first like events or like whole conferences, whole state conferences. And I'm like, whoa, I've never done this shit in my life. But okay, I'm going to just work through it. There's been a lot of moments, especially in that first year, where they were asking me to do things I've never done before. Hey, Lisa, can you do a live broadcast of this event? Sure. Yeah.
YouTube.
Can you make this compilation video? Sure. Yeah. Let me do some Google searches for it real quick.
Well, so maybe that's a good thing to delve into then. So for your school, was PR and marketing part of the communications department, or was it its own department by itself?
So we had my school within the college was the Scripps Howard School of Journalism Communications.
Okay, cool.
So we had public relations was one of the majors, broadcast journalism, and I believe radio broadcast.
Okay,
was
cool.
the other.
Cool.
And they went into a deep dive for my major. I must say they did a really good job.
Cool.
Thankfully, like Apple, like sponsored us and like we had like
Ooh.
Apple equipment in our studio.
Very
so
nice.
that's where I would learn like all of Adobe on.
Okay, cool.
We had like our own TV station, so it was cool, radio station. But I feel like, yeah, we had a whole class like on media criticism where we were just watching TV
Yeah.
and literally just sitting there criticizing it, making papers. What else? Media criticism, media ethics, which is far few in between these days,
Yeah.
but very necessary.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I feel like it was a real well-rounded school. But then again, marketing is changing every single
All the time.
day.
And I was going to ask because for me, I was electronic media broadcasting within the communication school. And so I knew for my curriculum being so production heavy, obviously Adobe is going to be a big part of it. So I didn't know if PR and marketing had the same demand for those production
They
products.
actually did. So like some of my PR classes specifically were like some of our main final projects were like create a magazine.
Ooh.
Which was so much fun.
I would have
my
I would have
God.
loved that.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And so another class, one of my freshman classes was, you're an event management company. Pick one of these record labels, which we got to pick like ones that we love.
Yeah.
And like you're creating a launch party.
Got it.
Logistically, you need to make sure here's your budget. Like come up with a spreadsheet. Ooh. It was so much fun.
Now, how detailed did you have to get with a project like that?
You had to provide a budget and give line items of what you're paying for, provide a PowerPoint presentation, tell us exactly what you're buying. Are these the currents you're going to get, the lighting you're going to get? Okay, how much is it to set it up? How much is labor?
Like list like the lighting kit brands
Everything.
and whatnot?
Like
the models?
Yeah, you need to do like real research. So it was fun. I love that stuff. A whole marketing proposal, a marketing plan, which those are like 25 pages of joy.
Brings me back to media sales class.
Okay.
Fun. I don't know about you, but for me, even though it was like even though for me it was like they're not real numbers, but having to like put proposals together with real numbers, I'm like, that's a lot of zeros.
So daunting.
That's so much money.
I hated the numbers.
And like for some companies, that's nothing. Yeah. And I would have paid off all my student loans without this.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
I don't know if you had. I don't know if that gave you pause during your scholastic days, but like I was just like, hey, we want to offer you this package. It's like so many $1,000. Here you go, please.
Yeah,
oh my God.
This is normal. No.
And I actually got to sit down with a continuity lady a few years ago and just kind of look at some of the contracts that were coming up for iHeartMedia in Charlotte.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
And seeing those numbers, those
crazy.
6-7 figure numbers, I'm like, oh my God. But some of the brands being like Lowe's and whatnot, they have the money to just, and you see like their corporate buildings here in Charlotte. It's like, they have the money for
Just
it.
a drop in the bucket.
They're not going to notice that money being gone anyway. What's the problem?
Those are the best companies I feel like to work for, but like the ones who are like on a tight budget and they expect multi-million-dollar product is like, those are the most daunting, I feel, because it's just like, I'm not a magician.
Yeah. And I was wondering about the magazine you worked for too. So was it like a smaller startup magazine?
So
what was its position?
It was basically Black Enterprise for Charlotte. So if you know Black Enterprise magazine, it's kind of like a Charlotte Business Journal within the African American community. And so they still do have a very large market here. They're sponsored by like Bank of America. Like they have really heavy hitter.
There's money there.
Exactly. They have heavy hitter sponsors. So let's not lie. But I think they have only so much resources.
Yeah.
And so they try to make sure that not only are they giving their membership a monthly publication, but they're also providing like programs and stuff like that for them. So
nice, very, very nice. So, let's see. There's a lot there to work with.
We could talk.
And I like that. I like that. Well, so let's talk about inspiration outside of work then. Okay. So, what kind of things do you find in today's culture, like that you hear about on the daily, that affect even your willingness to just do something, or whether or not it's your mental planning of future ambitions? Like, what affects you from just today's world?
Everything. No. What affects me? No, literally, I could say everything. I feel like I'm an empath, so I take on the energy around me a lot. I love music, so let's start there. Cool. Music is definitely the backbone to like my life. Yeah. Like music, if I was just sitting here, I would be playing music now. But I use music while I work. It's like motivational, it's inspiring, and sometimes it gives you the extra push. Like, to just keep going. I love watching music videos. I love, like, ever since I was a kid, I just love music videos. Were you like a VH1 MTV early morning, just back-to-back music video watcher as a kid? Yes, racing home to watch TRL 106 in Park. Ooh. I would definitely run home from the bus to watch
TRL
that.
Maybe?
Yes,
some
TRL. Of course, all of that.
And if you don't know what TRL is, you are too young for the show.
You're definitely too young for this show.
But I'm also trying to cultivate conversation for you if you're young, so just hang tight, please.
Respect Gen Z.
Respectfully.
We respect Gen Z. But yeah, like I love that stuff. I love watching awards show productions. I always said when I was a kid, like one of my first jobs I wanted to be was like a producer for the Grammys.
Dude, could you imagine being in the control room for one of those things?
I would love
like when I first took a news class and just like, this is such a small thing and there's already so much in here for just these 3 cameras on this one stage.
Yeah.
And like trying to conceptualize what a control room for the Oscars is like, I don't know if I could handle it.
I don't know. Like, but I would love to try.
Yes. Yes.
I would love to try, but I know what you mean. Like, it sounds so hectic and so fun.
Like, let me shadow you for a year.
Yeah.
And then I'll get to you about actually trying it out.
Exactly.
Because this looks like it's a thing. A thing that needs to be digested.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I think it just looks so much fun.
Yeah.
I just think it's fun to like watch people put together basically like a puzzle. But what other inspirations I have? My culture. I love being Jamaican. Any Jamaican will tell you they love being Jamaican. So I'm definitely an island girl. I definitely love like just like the architectural, the architecture, the culture, the colors that we use. What else? Just everything around me.
Everything around you.
Yeah.
Be a sponge.
I try to be a sponge. No, really. I really do. I really try to be a sponge. So you can learn from anywhere.
I'm going to abandon the questions now.
Okay.
Time to go off the cuff.
Cool.
So talk about THM. Well, I'll leave that part out. Our current job.
Okay.
Now, what what grooves and what respectively doesn't groove. And let's go with that for now.
Okay.
What grooves and what respectfully doesn't groove.
What grooves for me is the flexibility. There's a lot of flexibility as far as like if I have a doctor's appointment at 2:15, I got a doctor's appointment at 2:15, and I'm gonna leave it, and I have to go. There's nothing really you can do about it, and respectfully, there's nothing that you can do about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, there's no bad blood between us or anything, you know.
I do like that for me, there's a little push and pull on like one thing, kind of like where it's like you are responsible for your time.
I do like that.
And that by itself has had me pulled in different directions, but there's also kind of like, but.
Right. There's always a
when
but.
you said you would say you would be here.
Exactly.
So it's like, can I go back in time and tell you a different time frame?
Right. Like, can I switch
like,
that day that was said I was going to come
right.
in to another day?
Because, and I won't go into details about how we track our time and everything, but like, you're responsible for your time. Your time needs to be geared to somebody. But then when you just aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
Like if it's towards the end of the day, like for me, it's like if it's 3:30 and I feel like I've done a lot for the day, and my program people have nothing else for me,
right? And
I'm not working for anybody else yet. It's like I'll just go home.
Yeah,
I mean,
respectfully so.
Like,
and the times that's happened to me, and you can bring this up to you know our people, but just say or ask them, hey, well, can I do some training in Adobe?
Yeah.
Watch like an hour-long video or something.
Yeah.
Especially during the beginning of COVID. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All of us.
It's just
we're
like,
watching YouTube very heavy. Okay.
And that's really even me now, like, to be very honest.
But if it's like something that's gonna benefit you professionally, they will really, and I'm being honest here, they will really like, okay, well, let's just add that to TH as training.
Yeah. So
for real, like, tell them that shit. But I understand you, like, that's annoying, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then I've been there, and then on the flip side where I'm at now, it's like. Now they give you a bunch of clients, and so now you're like, okay,
plenty of work.
It's a lot of work, and so now you're like, you don't want to give things away because then you're like, wait, you're trying to guard your 40 hours like with the death of your hands, like,
right? With
a death grip, like wait. What if I give away a project that was 2-3 hours? That could have been my time.
Right.
Like, you know, these things that you're thinking about. And so that's
and then your clients aren't even all in the same time zone as you are.
Oh, my God.
And that's a whole thing by itself.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. My company's hours are this time, and I didn't tell you to set up shop over there on the West Coast and be so many hours behind me.
So if we're talking about the groove and what was the alternative to groove?
Well, what grooves and what respectfully does not groove?
Does not groove.
Yeah.
Okay. What does not groove is the lack of communication sometimes. So like, like my last assessment, you're asking me if I need to be here 3 days a week. The last time we talked about high-risk situation, the CEO verbatimly said in a team meeting, 2 days a week, you choose which 2 days you can come in, and that's it. Now, respectfully, why are you coming at me talking about 2-3 days or an extra day?
Yeah.
And we don't have you need to set these like expectations across the board and let them be clear.
Right. Now,
so then people aren't like confused and making up stuff.
Right. And I was gonna ask, is that something you got kind of offered to you because you'd been here already for a certain amount of time and then you were offered only be in 2 days a week, or was that how it was from the get-go?
That was something that started from COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. So like before COVID, it was in the office every day. Fridays we leave at 4. There were times where, because I'm an Aquarius and I have to find a way to break the rule. But like, there would be like, for me anyway, I would try to set a time, 1 day a week where I would go home for half a day.
Okay.
Like, give me that day.
Yeah.
And I would try to make it towards like the end of the week, like a Thursday or Friday. But yeah, I would go into the office every day, and then go home that half day. And in the summer, which is great, it was like summertime.
Mm-hmm.
It was like half day in summertime.
On Fridays,
which is great.
Which sounds great, but then it's like, oh, wait, there are 4 hours.
But then you still need to figure out where you're going to put those hours.
Those 4 hours, right. So,
Yeah.
Maybe I can try to make that 7 a.m. time work for the rest of the week.
You just got to know how to finesse that timesheet. You got to make that timesheet your bitch. I'm so sorry.
But you're not
Excuse my
wrong.
language.
You're not
but
wrong.
But it's true. Because I used to make that timesheet. It was so daunting for me.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks. Oh, my gosh. What am I going to put here?
And now it's every week.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
So.
And I never had that kind of system before. Ever.
This is the first time I've ever had to have billable hours where I had to clock each 15 minutes of my time.
But I've never had clients before. So I guess there's that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, in a sense, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is my first time, and I've learned a lot. I learned a lot of like with dealing with clients one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
I had to work on.
Now, with all your clients, was it a situation where they had already a previous relationship with your partner company and you had to facilitate a new one with them and get them to work a bit differently that works with Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely I have had those clients where they are used to another individual and then I get put onto the team. And then I've had the alternative where this is a whole new client, and you're the introduction to our company is you. So it's like,
but in that situation though, do you get to say, okay, this is how it works?
Yes.
This is how it will work.
Yes.
And in the case of the brand new client, are they in the time zone or are they out of the time zone?
They're both.
Both.
I've had both.
Okay.
I had one in like Nashville.
Okay. Which isn't too bad off.
No, they're like an hour off. They're not bad. It's really California. Let's talk.
California.
People in California.
I feel like that's a line in a song somewhere.
Right.
Probably.
You guys have to understand that business ends at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Which means what, 1 o'clock their time?
About 2 o'clock your time.
Oh, 2 o'clock their time.
So if you're working with a business that's across the way in the East Coast, just be considerate of that. We don't want to talk about business at 6:30 at night or 7.
Nor will we.
Okay.
Nor will.
So be considerate.
By the time you've entered your offices in that morning, dew is still glistening on the fake ass gardens that your people put outside your building to make it look nice. The 36 ounces of coffee that I imbibed have fully entered my system.
Yeah, now I'm hungry and I want food.
It's time for lunch.
Yeah, so.
When your McDonald's is still on breakfast time, we're moving on to Taco Bell for lunch.
Okay.
Like please understand how far ahead we are.
I am not on your time. But yeah.
But I would think too, if the parent company was going to set up a client in a different time zone to that degree, they'd be like, look. So,
and I think this is like the first time this is happening, like for them, because it's like we've worked with like clients. We have clients in San Francisco, Sacramento, LA. But I feel like this is the first time like this client in LA just thinks that they're my only
your
client.
only clients.
So I need to be on standby. Because I'm basically acting as a position that is full time. Yeah. I'm basically acting in that role.
Yeah.
So they expect me to be like on call at all times. And if I sent you an email, you should probably respond right away. It's like, no. not likely.
No.
Yeah, and because I didn't respond to that email doesn't mean you can call me and text
It's
me.
giving that we provide you benefits when we don't.
It's like,
so it's
they offered, hey, do you want to move to LA? I said,
I mean, I've heard LA.
Put a pin in that.
I was gonna say, well, I don't know, and I've heard like LA's kind of toxic.
I heard it's
so
toxic,
it's like maybe live in Burbank, but then commute to LA so that you're living outside the toxicity. Maybe
I wouldn't mind living in like the outskirts.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Like, goodness, LA.
I still haven't been to LA yet. I'm trying to go this year.
And you know what? Neither have I. And I'm really going off of what I hear about LA. But like, so like, I don't know about you, or if you follow like the Vlog Squad or like Liza Koshy or David Dobrik or any of them like that. But like, they were big on Vine when Vine was a thing, and I was not on Vine when it was a thing. But like, listening to them, and some of them have like kind of so extended themselves from it, and they're like, God, this place is so fucking toxic. So toxic.
I heard that a lot, that you have to hang out with people from LA. Because if that's a different LA than Hollywood LA.
And I'm not going to try to provide details because I don't have them, but there's like almost like the cultures, because you have the celebrities there.
Right.
So it's like, and they're there in like broad daylight and like just at the cafe. So there's like some culture around how you have to or need to behave around them. I mean, like, granted, like they're people and they should be treated like people. But I don't know. It's something about the culture with them all being there and people trying to like get these quick accesses to fame and that I think feeds into the supposed toxicity. But I don't know.
No, I believe it.
Yeah,
people say
yeah.
that. Same thing about Atlanta too. Like, and I think Miami as well. Pretty much, I mean, like major city, New York as well.
Charlotte doesn't seem that way though. Charlotte's pretty chill.
Charlotte is a big town. I'll say it in the camera. It's a big town. Pretending to be a city. But that's not a dig. I'm just saying we're not a metro city like we're portraying to be.
Right.
We shut down at 2 a.m. Like, come on.
And let's be honest, even more honest, on the list of 25 major media markets, I think we're still 23. So we're not top 10 people, which probably to a degree is a really, really good thing, because when you get to the top 10, they have issues. Because the top 3, I think, are still New York, LA, and Chicago.
Of course.
That's a lot to unpack there right by itself.
Yeah. It's a lot of people, a lot of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of crime.
A lot of trash, yes. Lots of trash. But where do you... I'm not going to frame this like where do you see yourself in 10 years, Lisa? But what are your ambitions? And I'm not afraid to say I have ambitions that if I can set the cards and things in motion right, will take me beyond where we currently are.
Right.
So what are you aiming for? As like, where do you want your kind of prime career to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you feel?
Okay, so I am feeling I would love to be, it's kind of the creative director producer bag. I really want to be a producer. I want to produce shows. I want to produce, not, TV shows, concerts, award shows. I mean, pretty much everything I want to produce. I want to produce also like, a Nike installation in downtown Soho. I don't know. Just like random stuff. My best friend, Jasmine, and she's incredible. I met her my freshman year at Hampton. She actually works for this company called Beyond 8, and they work with Solange on her productions.
Ooh,
and
nice.
If you ever watch a Solange concert or performance, like the production and stage design is just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just elegant and classic. And I love the aesthetic of it all.
Yeah.
So she worked with her. She's done the latest Gucci movie premiere showcases in New York. She's worked with Fashion Week. She's worked with Dove. She's done a lot of stuff. So definitely working with my best friend and creating our own production company of our own and just doing our thing.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That sounds great.
Yeah. And just being able to fly everywhere for different projects.
Now, are you looking to be like producer and like be someone's boss, or like more just like you have your room and you craft it the way you want it?
I want to be the boss, but I also don't want to handle the financials. So if anything, I want to be the CMO, not the CEO, not the COO.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if you wanted to be like chief top.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But yeah, I just want to have my own.
Yeah.
But share it with my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just as creative and smart and brilliant in their own right. So.
Are you working on any kind of personal platforms development right now that you're gonna hopefully use as a gateway into that future? What are you doing right now?
Yes. So right now I am building upon my own, I guess, media entity of sorts. So I want to help. Right now I do a lot with I work with different small businesses, and I'll help out with their branding.
Yeah.
If they need to come up with any, photo shoots or anything like that, I like to help out with them with that. But I also want to stop shop for that. So I want to be able to have my own little studio, which eventually it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But my own little studio where I can have my own lighting and camera and everything there. One-stop shop. You can just take everything you want there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
right.
I am working towards it now, building up my name. I feel like I've been branding and helping all these other companies with their stuff, and then I get home and I'm like exhausted. Like when you manage like 7-8 social media accounts, by the time you get home and go to yours, I don't want to post anything.
Yeah.
Like this year, like my friends were like, okay, no, like this year, Lisa, you need to like come outside. Boy.
Yeah.
Like show you and what you're doing. So that's my promise to myself is to like take more pictures of myself and others and promote my work.
Do it.
Like, don't let these companies exhaust you to the point that you don't have anything for yourself.
Exactly.
It's pretty much what I'm getting back to.
Man, and that's why I like, and I'm not trying to like shamefully plug Hygge here, but like, because Hygge's not the only co-working place in Charlotte, but like,
they're definitely my favorite.
For me here, like when I was like, radio is just not into me. I don't know what it is. Whatever. Fine. I'm going to have to create something.
Yeah.
Then when I found Hygge, they were originally a few streets over off of Freedom, and I was like, oh, this is nice. This is like people trying to do stuff here. And then they moved over here, and I was like, oh shit, they're doing something.
Right,
now.
they're doing something.
And like I still feel like it's budding, like it's gonna do something soon, but it still feels fantastic. Like when I'm here, I'm so zen. Yeah. When I'm at work, I'm not so zen.
Right? No.
I mean, just be honest. But it's still the work gets done. But yes, when I'm over here, I'm just like, oh, thank God. I'm over here. Like my dream morning, like my dream career, and I've talked about this before, is like get here 7:30. We're connected to a cafe, not just coffee. Yeah. So walking through there, get my latte, walk in these doors, go to my office and start working on my podcast. Yes. That's my dream day.
I love that.
Got to work towards my dream day.
Yeah, we got to work towards it. We're going to get there.
Well, while you're developing your platform, where can people connect with you so that they can watch that unfurl?
Oh, wow. Okay. So you can follow me at ASILNYL, and that's just Lisa Lynn backwards.
Lisa Lynn backwards, okay.
But that's on IG. I have a couple of photos of my work on there. But right now I'm just building my portfolio back up. We're going to make sure that's branded out by spring, summer.
Yeah.
Not on my Sheree Whitfield.
Do you have a site they can visit, or that maybe you'll launch one soon?
I'm launching my site soon. So just look out for my IG page. All of the updates will be on there. But stay tuned. I promise this year, 2022, year of the tiger, baby. We're doing the thing.
I need to catch up on my Chinese zodiac. I know nothing about it.
I went to a Chinese New Year tea party.
In Charlotte?
Yes.
Where is that? Where was that being hosted in Charlotte?
It was at someone's house. It was the cutest thing. It was like they had the whole like decorative, setup. And then they had like actual like Chinese tea and like food. It was so cute.
Oh man, that reminds me of this cafe in Boone. Because I went to App State, and it was a Chinese tea place. And like you sat like on those like pillows, and they bring it to you, and they like do stuff. And they make the tea in a very traditional manner. Nice. Yeah, we love culture.
One of my best friends owns her own tea company.
Oh, nice.
So that's the one who actually came out with the event.
Okay, cool.
So like I said, like I have friends who are like in everything. They're in everything.
Now,
so
do they do like the really fancy tea balms that blossom. I
Yes.
love those.
She has this. Let me tell you.
Okay. Talk about
This
it, please. Talk about it.
Chai balm, right? And then she adds lavender infused almond milk to it.
That was an idea.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you've never watched like a time lapse of a tea balm blooming,
It's beautiful.
it's so good. It's so nice. It's so nice. You gotta connect me with her. I'm gonna have her on this show because
I
my
will.
god,
Oh, I would love
because
to.
that would be awesome.
She would love this.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
I have plenty of other like small business owner friends who are just like doing their thing.
And see, that's the thing I feel like a lot of, well, I know I got to get into is like, put together an event.
Yes.
Put together a networking thing. We just had one last night, which was fantastic. We had Ohavia Phillips here.
I love Ohavia.
She was so cool. Like she walked
energy.
into there yesterday. Like you'd,
Yeah, she's like, she gives you a shot of adrenaline.
like what just entered the space?
Yeah.
And then you saw her over there. She was in this beautiful orange outfit, and she was just
dressed her
so
butt
cool.
off.
I mean, and we had like, I don't know if we had like full 40 people here, but we had a lot of people here last night.
Yeah.
And she was such a nice focus. She had all of us talk first, and then she carried it home. But she was so awesome.
Yeah, but like people like her, there are so many gems in the city. There's so many talented people that we really need to combine forces as often as possible.
Yes.
Like Issa Rae says, you have to reach across the room. Stop trying to reach up to like all these big higher ups when there's Brandon, there's me that you could talk to and create something just as beautiful.
And funny enough, Ohavia Phillips was asked by the person who put together the event last night who her like dream guest would be on the O Show. No, it's not the O Show anymore. Sorry. It's Beautiful People.
Beautiful people, yeah.
And she was like, Lisa Ray.
Of course.
Or Issa Rae, sorry.
Yes.
Issa Rae.
Of
and
course.
Oprah.
Yes.
And The Rock and Ryan Reynolds for other reasons.
But no, Issa Rae is like literally like she is everything. I say her name because I hope that like I can meet her and like just touch her hand and just say thank you so much.
So I met like a new friend last night. Her name is Tracy. Tracy Massey. She has her own podcast called The Charging Station. Okay. And it's like a girls' night out Friday evening shebang. It's such a great show. Check it out. But I met her last night at this event, and she was preparatorily fangirling over Ohavia before she even got here.
Oh my god!
Like she was sweet. I'm like, Tracy, like, am I gonna have to like hold your hand when she gets there? Like, I don't know you, but I feel like I need to help you with this energy here.
Yes.
And then the second like we heard her come in, we were over on that side of the building. She came in over here, and Tracy was like, I was like, Tracy. And then she was so funny too because I took my eyes off of her because we had like a raffle and some snacks over here, and I looked over, she was gone. And that's because Ohavia had sat down over there.
And she was right
and there was a big froofy chair next to her.
Yeah.
Right there. Tracy got her seat for the entire thing.
I don't blame you, girl. Get yours.
She was so great. And I can't wait to hang out with her. Because she wants to, she's doing a podcast right now. It's just audio. She wants to evolve into video. And I was like, let me know.
Yeah.
And I'll show you how I do mine, what makes it easy. Because we have a lot of people here who come in and think podcasting is easy. Like it's just you sit down and record and you're done. You sweet summer children. It's not that easy. You have to like prepare for work.
There's pre-production, post-production, and then you got to market the damn thing.
Yes.
Like, it's a lot of
work. Oh my
work.
goodness. And my marketing is not the best. I have to work so hard on mine, but that's why I'm here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Ooh, it's a shebang. So be prepared. I think, and we have a lady here named Tay Flo, and she does the training for here.
Okay.
And I'm like, Tay, you have to like, it's one thing to like train them how to use this and not break it, which is good because this is $600 right here. And I'm a payment plan person.
Okay.
So I'm not dropping that right away.
All right.
So it's like train them how to use it, but then help them understand. It's a process.
Yes.
Like you said, pre-prod and post-prod. Like unless you're ready for it, or unless you like have a great job on the side and you can pay a producer.
Right.
Which, by the way, if you're hiring, how you doing? Yeah, it's gonna be work. So prepare for that.
And it's consistency too. So like you've done all this work and you're like excited that it's out, and then you're like, oh shit, you have to do it again.
Do it again. So Year of the Tiger 2022 is my consistency year.
Same.
Because I tried to launch this baby on New Year's Day 2020.
Yeah. Well.
And that was the worst timing I could have ever had.
Okay.
Oh. And then even 2022 has not been easy. Every attempt so far with this show has had its own. And so I'm going to tell you this real quick. So, because the universe will test you when it can.
Oh yeah.
So I was originally just like a podcast member here, so I only paid to have an hour in here.
Okay.
But now I upgraded to Flex, which is a bit more, but I can be here as much as I want.
That's awesome.
Not in the studio because that still
Right.
costs some stuff after a while, but I can
like
just be in the building.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's beautiful space right there. You can take pictures.
Yes. And you haven't even seen everything yet, and I'm going to show you that after this.
Please do.
But
Thank you.
I could be here all the time. But the day after I did that was the day my Bravada's trans took a shit.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize one of my SD cards was going bad. So my relaunch episode first recording session, recorded on a Wednesday, went to produce it on a Saturday after. And every 10 seconds of the hour-long recording session had a spike of white noise. Every 10, I'm like, oh my God. And I thought it was this thing here.
Yeah.
And so I Slacked the owner because we use Slack here too.
Right.
And so I'm like, hey, Karen, can you like check the broadcaster? Because I sent him a picture of it. I was like, because this happened to my SD card. And we make sure it's not the broadcaster.
Yeah, like, please.
But of course it wasn't. It was a me
Good.
problem. But I still didn't realize it was the SD card. So I had a second recording session with the same SD card. But instead of it being a spike of white noise, it was just a dropout every 10 seconds. But thankfully, these guys do record audio. It's not great audio, but it's better. But I had to line them all up and use bits and use them to replace that 2 seconds of dropped audio.
And again, another thing in post-production that nobody thinks about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's such tedious work.
It is.
Oh.
But the beautiful thing about this, though, and I just recently realized you can set this to multi-track. So when you do multi-angle like this, it shows you mic 1 and mic 2. So I can see where you talk and where I talk. That makes
Perfect.
post-production with these two things so easy.
Yeah.
An hour-long session no longer takes 2.5 hours to produce. It takes like 20 minutes.
That's
and it's great.
yes.
And if we use like, let's say we use some like, if I would have introduced you with some like sound effects, like,
Oh my God. You should have.
like
What?
that, like it, since this is up, it'll record that. Stop. But that would have caught that, and that's going to be its own track.
Yeah.
And it's like, but next time I will, because I'm going to have you on here again.
Okay, please do.
See,
and I'll bring some friends.
Yes.
Oh, we could have a whole
We seat 4,
thing.
so not too many friends.
Oh, you know.
We seat 4.
Just enough.
And I
Just
only have
enough.
2 cameras, so we'd have to figure that out. But
We could do like 2 and 2.
yeah. We can
it
like
work.
angle these 2 things like that. Yes. Yeah. I like you. I like you for that reason. But yes, we're going to have a lot of fun.
We're going to have so much fun.
2022, You're the Tiger, like you said.
Yes.
I'm ready for it. But thank you for being here and making this such an awesome episode. I can't appreciate you enough for making the trip down here from Concord. I was like, it's taking her so long. So I did look, and the man was like, okay, there's some usual issues there.
And I'm late everywhere I go.
Everywhere I go.
This is something.
What was that song? Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. What was that song?
I don't remember.
Oh my God. I feel like it's not Keke Palmer. Everywhere. Oh, it was a Zendaya song from
Oh, I was not around
No.
when Zendaya was making music.
when she was on Disney Channel.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was too old.
I'm pretty. First of all,
Yeah.
well, I will say you're not too old. You're never too old for like Disney stuff up till like
No.
2010.
That's true.
After that is where things get sketchy and you're too young for me. But there was a song from her. She was on a show with Bella Thorne before Bella Thorne was like current Bella Thorne.
Right.
Called Shake It Up. Yeah, Shake It Up.
Okay.
And there was a song either Bella or she did where it's like, done it everywhere I go, done it everywhere. I'll define it after this. But that's what you made me think of that. But you're late everywhere you go. That's what you were saying.
I am, and I need to work on. That's something I definitely have to work on.
But you got here.
Yes.
And we had fun.
That's one thing. I will be there.
Yes.
Might be late.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna set a rule for you though.
Yeah.
Every additional minute is that much more exponentially fantastic. Your arrival better be.
Okay.
So the next time you're so many minutes late, you better be coming on a bus that's got like frill and whatnot coming off of it.
I'm coming back with feathers
Like you better make
and,
the
like,
wait worth my while.
sparklers and VIP sparklers and
Yes.
bottle service.
Mhm. Men in cages.
Men in cages.
Who said that?
Yes. I love it.
But that's kind of why Ohavia Phillips wants The Rock on her show. Sorry, Ohavia, but that's what you said. But let's be honest.
I wanted to for her.
I was gonna be like, yeah, bring like Scorpion King energy, but leave the wig at home because that wasn't a nice wig on him.
No, it was not.
That wasn't a great wig.
You could always do him or what's the other guy? Aquaman. What's his name?
Why am I blanking on him?
I know. Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa.
And you talk about you brought up Aquaman and the whole Amber Heard thing. But let's not touch about that. That's a whole other show. That's a whole other conversation for a whole other show, which may have to happen.
I'm ready.
But Amber Heard, I think there's gonna be a boycott for that movie, which I hate to say because of the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing. Girl, come on.
Okay, but so
yeah.
Johnny Depp and Amber Heard got beef. So what does that have to do with the Aquaman?
So was because it was found out that she was the abusive one of the Johnny Depp relationship, and when he was accused of being the violent one in the relationship, he got fired from a project. But Joss Whedon, the awesome guy he is, did not fire her from Aquaman. He kept her on, even after it was revealed she was the one who was the bad apple in the relationship. So that's why people are not excited for Aquaman 2. Johnny Depp is a gem.
Be fair, people.
We gotta be fair.
Gotta be fair.
So, and I think I do follow this one girl, and this might be controversial for some people, but her name is Grace Randolph. She does a show called Beyond the Trailer, so she talks about all this stuff. But she was like, I'm pretty sure Disney's gonna be like watching Aquaman 2 with
a fine-tooth comb.
Yes.
Damn.
Like how they handle it. But yeah, Johnny Depp got dropped.
You messing up your Disney bag, girl.
Yeah.
You stupid.
Stupid. Oh my goodness.
You could have fed yourself, your kids, your grandbabies off of that one check. You stupid.
Exactly. Oh my God. But yeah, that's another show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm down to Babble, but that's Babble about some other time about that. But but again, so like IG.
ASILNYL, Lisa Lynn backwards with one N, of course.
And how many platforms is it? Just IG?
Just IG right now. That's the only one you guys need to look at. You know, my Twitter.
Wait, do you see that like there's something to find us elsewhere?
You can follow me on Twitter if you're here for the jokes. It's by the same name.
Yeah.
ASILNYL. But yeah. That's it for right now. You'll see me soon. Next time I come back, I'll make sure that I actually have like a viable source for you to reach me at.
And then, follow her. Keep an eye out for that website launch because I'm ready for it.
Yes, me too.
When it happens, let me know.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of Casual Babble. Thank you, Lisa, again. She will be on in the future for sure. No questions asked about it. And we'll see you next time. Now, if I could have you do one thing, I want to create a collage of voices in the future being like, hey, I'm this person, and you're listening to Casual Babble.
Cute.
So if you can like 2 or 3 times do like, I'm Lisa Dacres, and you're listening to Casual Babble. Casual Babble. And I'll put myself down.
I'm Lisa Dacres, and you're listening to Casual Babble. Oh, this is so much fun. Okay, sorry. When do I go?
Whenever you want.
Oh, okay. Hi, this is Lisa Dacres, and you're listening to Casual Babble. Hi, I'm Lisa Dacres, and you're listening to Casual Babble.
Alrighty. Sounds good to me. I
good.
like it, yes.
I want to be a radio personality
Man.
so bad. You're itching my...
Man.
You're itching the nerve.
I'm telling you, try Station Head. Jump onto that.
I'm going to.
Do it.
I am. Because one of my best guy friends, he wants to do a music show. So like, this is like... What you showed me was perfect.
Oh, man, it's so fun.
I have to have you meet too. Like, I don't want him to have his own, like... fashion podcast.
Ooh,
thing.
yes.
So I definitely want to make it a video. And like shoot him like going to like different thrift stores. Like he already works at like Polo, and like he works at part time.
Yeah.
Like he works there, and like he can like I feel like he could give a great perspective. A lot of people are into fashions, and I feel like there's a lot of women that are fashion influencers, but there's not enough men. So
there's not a lot.
That's a really good niche.
And there are some men that have some fantastic styles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like he could get a sponsorship from anywhere, like Babble, like these man grooming companies. Like that's easy money. So
like especially when some of these styles are like based off of having like the most crisp lines.
Yes.
And your hairstyle, like that look like they were.
Hair.
Like,
so it would be a moment.
And oh my God. And like these people who like get these, I can't even imagine how much these cuts are going to these particular barbers.
Oh, yeah.
When the lines look like they were penciled on. Like, oh my God, I don't even want to know. And I think like some of the barbers have like these like I don't know how much that cost, but like the golden
Clippers and stuff.
clippers. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, how much did that cost, man?
And some
But
of
it
them
looks
barbershops,
good.
like, they'll give you like a full on like facial.
Uh-huh.
Which I mean, it's nice. Like, it's a good service.
Respectable facial, not the other kind.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, some barbers do that too, and I can tell you where they are, but not right now. Not today. All right, recording off.
Okay.